Hello, you're going to send everyone across here. Oh dear, tech issues, tech issues, tech issues. We are live now. VM is going to post the link so everyone can know exactly where we are. Not sure what's happening. I don't know. There we go. Is anyone here? There we go. 19 people, quickly. Sorry, just this. We're having a big problem with this there. It keeps dying on us. We're not sure what's going on. I think there's a glitch in the app. And we've just updated it, so it might be a glitch in the app, so we had to get out a computer to do it. Hi, everyone. Hi. Wasn't that exciting? Really great that you guys were all there. And yeah, it was, we didn't plan to focus too much on old Impy this week. Jumbo Barbara, thank you. Tanya, Alicia, if I miss your questions, guys, I'm sorry. The comments are coming in fast and furiously. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Bia. Hello, Mars. Stella. Bob. Animal Love. Approved. Yeah, so it was exciting week. So I'm sure a lot of you have questions about why it was such a big deal that he was on the next door farm. So certain farms are also game farms, but they don't have big game. So the farm he went onto is a commercial game breeding farm, which means they breed things like buffalo, sable, black impala, purple zebra, basically anomalies for sale in the live game auction market. So if Impy managed to get into any of the expensive animals, it would have been very expensive for the reserve because he could have eaten something that costs a lot of money. So, and thankfully, the farm owner called us immediately and let us know that the cheetah was there and just asked us if we could kindly get it off. Your bomber girl, no. As you can see at the end, he was completely fine with the vehicle. He's been seen on a kill since that happened. We went there. We were looking for the lion den. So yeah, no, it's not going to make him more nervous, etc. of the vehicles. Thanks, James. Yeah, VM got some great shots in there, and the new camera gear is really paying off. So I mean, where those little lion cubs were, it was so dark, I didn't even try with my big stills camera to get a photograph. It was too dark, but the new camera equipment can operate in that low light. So very sort of paying off for itself. Tammy, you're in a construction store, a tool store, watching. Need anything? Yes, we have a lot of tools. Yes, Lindsay, it was a great den spot that she found. And of course, my bye-bye and the 5 cubs are doing really well. We're hoping for the next 2 weeks, we're going to split our time between my bye-bye and between Yaleti and her cubs. So many cubs. Erlene, I would say those cubs are probably just under 3 weeks. Her original den size, there was no way as you could get a vehicle in. We were pretty sure where it was. But being a first-time mom, I didn't want to walk in there and distress her too much. Very interesting that at sort of 3 weeks old, she's already introduced them to the rest of the pride. Now, that could be because it's such a small pride, and there were... Michelle, I'll get your question in a second. A small pride, and she was quite young. And it's very interesting. Normally, those lion cubs would not have been introduced to their older cousins so early. But so far, there seems to be no problem, and Bucket and BB haven't been too rough. Now, the question was about the injections that the cheetah was getting. So some of the stuff is to wake him up. And just a general antibiotic is given to almost every animal when you dart them, just to make sure a little boost to their immune system after the stress of being darted and moved. Sinak, the other cameras, the live cameras are coming. We've encountered a slight problem in the face of 2 granite hills, that are blocking signal. So we actually have to build another repeater to bounce it around the hill because we can't get permission to put a repeater on the hill. So yes, so the other cams are coming, but it is a process. We are a very small team. There's only three of us, Lucky, Viam, and myself, out on the ground. So we sort of we need to wait for more equipment that we've ordered to arrive from Johannesburg before we can get back onto the live camera mission. And in the meantime, we're going to focus on the lion and cheetah cubs. You Bombo girl, you're going to have to wait to find out what the sex of the cheetah cubs are. Deja vu, a rocky start. Yes, indeed. Two massive granite corpies. Well, thank you, Alicia. We really appreciate it. And again, a huge safari lover. From the tracks, what happened is that the male lions were also on patrol in that area, and they caught him up against the fence, so he dived through the fence rather than face the three male lions, which I would do as well. Now, that does happen, but I'm pretty sure he's learned his lesson, and it'd be very unlikely that the male lions will catch him again in that position. Yes, Doc Rogers is a really great shot, Lindsay. Thank you, Rosalind. Ages would cheetah cubs and lion cubs socialize if introduced early? I don't know, and don't know why you would do that. What would normally happen is that even just the lions playing would kill the cheetah cubs because they're so much bigger and stronger than the cheetah cubs. Sinak, the fencing is there to keep them inside the reserve where they've been introduced, and then they face possible threats in the other reserves. So if they spent too much time on a commercial game farm, it's basically the predators would be eating his livestock, his cows. So it would be a big problem for him if the predators got through and decimated his sable or his buffalo. Well, that's great to hear, Song of Rain. Thank you very much, Cookie. So we're gonna hopefully we're gonna try our best to top it week in, week out, but of course that is difficult. Alicia Bucket was born in February, so February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. 7 months old. No, I think I might have missed your question. Please send it again. Well, thanks, Stitch Cats. We try our best to get the best footage, and we'll be back at it tomorrow. So we're going to be up really early. We'll leave here at about 4:45, 4:30, and head out to my parents' house where the badger is parked. Aegis, what happens is when faced with a male lion, you just dive through the fence. There was no hole. He just hit the fence at about at enough speed to go between the wire. CNAC, we will focus on other animals, but the longer episodes, like we've been the last two we've done, is exclusively going to be focusing on Nyaleti and her 4 little lion cubs, and Mabai and the 5 cheetah cubs. TD Kid, cheetahs, all predators are at risk outside of protected areas. If they eat livestock, cattle, goats, etc., they will come into threat with either the farmers or the local communities, which puts them under pressure. Someone asked about badgers, and we've got badger sticker instead of a name. We've got a honey badger sticker on the side of the vehicle. Now, Noel, I'm keeping an eye out for your question. I don't want to miss it, but I can't see it. Early Sandy Ben has been scarce. She's on the neighboring reserve where we don't have Travis at the moment. Lioness Nyaleti means star, like star in the sky. That is her name, and Nyaleti the lioness, it means star. So you guys have obviously heard people chat about the Manyaleti Game Reserve, which is the place of stars. Update on my leg. Well, you saw me still out in the boot. If I'm out tracking and stuff, I still wear the boot. But if I'm driving and walking around home now, or just popping into the shops, I don't wear the boot. So the next episode we're hopefully going to have out in 2 weeks' time, and then after that, I'm going to be off to Johannesburg, and I'm getting the 2 pins out of my ankle, out of the bone and through my leg. So that, and then hopefully it should be out of the boot relatively soon. No, I get my pins out on the 17th of October. Sinak, the Manyaleti Reserve is next door to Djuma. So a lot of the same animals we get all around the Lowveld. That's a great name. That's a great idea, James. That would be an excellent idea if the cubs survive. Of course, there's still lots of hyenas, and even the fathers can pose a threat. Although we've seen how good those 3 reed-sprayed males behave with the cubs, as they did with when they adopted poor little Bucket. Don't worry, Bob. I will take care of myself. I've been doing all my rehab, all my exercises. My ankle's actually feeling quite strong. It doesn't have full movement because of the pins, but hopefully once the pins are out, the doc said I should get about 98% of my original movement back. So I should be ready and rearing to go. Yes, Lee, we're hoping also to catch up with the male lions for a little bit in the next 2 weeks as well. And who knows, maybe we'll get lucky enough to see them meeting their latest progeny for the first time. Okay. Just there's almost zero chance of Hasana coming through to us. He's headed south from Djuma, and we are well north of Djuma. My little dog is napping. With a baby. Flower. Fed her just before the live chat. Let's see if her cow brings her in. Normally works. That's cow. It's her favorite toy. Dan, yes, the reserve is protected from poachers. There are anti-poaching teams that are out constantly. If I caught a sign, I'll break the internet. Oh dear, we don't want to break the internet. Cookie, yes, I will be including pictures of Scarface on Teespring eventually. As I say, there's only 3 of us, and it takes a bit of time to get all that stuff up. So just keep an eye out on the Teespring. There's going to be stuff constantly coming out, and just remember the listing that is called The Tale of Two Mothers is a limited listing. It will be available for the next couple of months while the Tale of Two Mothers show is going on, but the rest of the stuff will be available. Well, I've been loving the pictures you've been sharing on social media. There we go, Safari Lover Patreon link, and also if you would like to become Patreon of PaintedDog.tv and get to see some behind the scenes stuff and get monthly screensavers, etc., you can join us on Patreon. And we are hoping to upgrade our Patreon. We've just busy embedding a new player that means we won't have to use YouTube for our Patreon only videos and Patreon live links. Mara, yes, we've got black and white rhino. And so there will be more content, a lot more behind the scenes stuff, how VM and I get ready, what we do in the mornings, just little stuff of us driving around. So hopefully with the new player we're embedding in Patreon, our patrons are going to get to see a lot more behind the scenes behind the I can't speak behind the scenes stuff. And I haven't even had an apple juice yet. It's been really hot, and we've been out and about, so I'm still on the water. Snow leopards are your favorite. Oh, I one day hope to go see um, snow leopards at some point. Oh, apparently Jamie also had a talking problem. There we go. You see that, Vim? B. Robinson says you're the bomb. Rugby World Cup. Yes. Congratulations, Japan. Commiserations to Ireland. They now know what South Africans felt like in 2015. Ah, there we go. There's Lucky. Oh, no. Noel, I can't believe I missed your question again. Vim, did you see the question from Noel? Vim is going to find it. Patty, as far as I understand, you can exceed the $10 if you choose to. There is no maximum donation or on Patreon. Okay, Vim says here it comes. Noel, your question is coming. Vim, I'm waiting. No, with only 2 lionesses and 6 cubs to feed, won't it be hard to feed them? No. So those Rietspruit girls are giraffe experts. The 2 of them keep taking down adult giraffe, and they're on a very, very prey-rich area. So I don't think they're going to have a problem to feed them at all. I actually think, we barely ever see a skinny lion on that reserve. Cookie, I don't think so. I think if you choose to go over the $10, you can. I think you just type it in. I'm not sure. I will ask VM and Charles to look into that for you. Yes, Kathy, lots of prey. Lots and lots of prey. But they seem to specialize in the bigger animals at the moment. So we found them on giraffe, wildebeest, and kudu kills almost exclusively this dry season. During the summer months, they seem to like warthogs quite a bit. You Bomber Girl, yes, there is Shongile merchandise coming out at some point. I will get to it, so just keep a close eye out. I will put the stuff out when I get the chance. Oh, what good question did I miss from James? Oh dear, I'm missing questions. You guys type too fast. B. Robinson, yes, that is an excellent question. We will be offering, I'm hoping by the end of next month, I'll have everything tied up. And next year, we will be doing a painted dog expedition to the reserve where we film. So you can come see Mabai and Nileti and their cubs and the Rietspruit boys and Bucket and BB. And we are going to be organizing safaris to this exact reserve. Nettie, I do organize safaris as well. But I try not to do too many of them. Otherwise, I don't have any time to put to work with them and get the shows out. But yes, I do organize safaris from time to time. Liz, finally made it live. Of course, you can get a shout out. Sinak, the expedition would not be live. It would be live for the people sitting in the game drive vehicle. And everyone who comes on the expedition will get a video made by VM, and VM and I will join them. We'll join them on a game driver day, and I'll join you for dinner and do talks and all sorts of things. CJ, if Charles is watching, can you speak to Charles, VM? and flag that for CJ. He'd like to make a once-off donation. So I think Patreon doesn't do that, but we have a PayPal account for that. There we go. Vim has told Charles. There isn't a waiting list, but I'll be publishing that hopefully what's by the middle of next month. I'll try to do it before I go into hospital. Noel, there are no elephants in the reserve currently. We have had plans to bring them into the reserve for quite some time, but because of the drought, we haven't been able to move them. So we're hoping we get some good rain this year, and we will hopefully get some elephants early next year. CJ, I'm not sure. I am an absolute Luddite when it comes to this stuff. So VM has spoken to Charles, and he will try to help you with that. Ah, yes. Thank you, Lindsay. Yeah, that was a bit of a surprise. That was a great photograph by the Wild Shots guys. I was concentrating on making sure the rhino was calm and not falling over. Um, Michelle, you need a passport, but you don't need a visa. I'm pretty sure Americans are exempt from visas for South Africa. I'm not 100% sure, though. Thank you, Julie. Carol, yes. There are man-made sources for the water sources for the animals. There's some big dams, and hopefully we'll be getting some hippos for those dams soon, as well as um, then we need to dig them deeper. But yes, there are pumped water holes at specific distances to sort of um, emulate sort of natural distribution of water. Um, CNAC, I'm not sure about Europeans. Certain European countries might need a visa. Other European countries won't. There we go. B says you need a passport, no visa for South Africa. There we go. For all your Patreon and donation questions, email Charles at painteddog.tv, and he will help you with all of that. As I say, I'll probably just end up more confused than you are, and confuse you. I'll stick to finding lions and whatnot. Eligel, we do have a rainy season, and it well, in theory, should start in November. November, December, January, February, March, maybe some late rains in April, but it doesn't rain every day. It's normally thunderstorms or maybe 1 or 2 days of light rain before it opens out. I'm missing this James Richard question, and I can't scroll up because I don't know how to use Vem's computer. It's very, very sensitive, and I'm scared I'll push the wrong button. As I said, I'm a bit of a Luddite. Diane, whether or not climate change is actually affecting us is difficult to say. So, in this part of Africa, you have cycles. So you normally work between 7 and 9 years wet, 7 and 9 years dry. So we should be coming through towards the end of our dry cycle now. We're about 6-7 years into a relatively dry cycle. Now that doesn't mean it's a drought. It just means it's drier than the previous 7 years. So we have actually had drought now, though. But one must remember, drought is quite common in this part of Africa, and it is very important in terms of weeding out the weakness in nature, and it ensures that only the strongest genetics survive and get through. Julie, what does cheetah hair feel like? Well, it's a bit more coarse than you would think, but you saw how fluffy his belly was. That was really soft and fluffy. And of course, his tongue is very rough, like sandpaper. And it was quite nice to have a look at those claws closer as well. And you could actually see he had some meat from what he had caught while he refused our impala. We do have painted dogs, pangolins, and black rhino, which are all endangered species in the reserve that we work on, and we have filmed them. Well, not the pangolins yet. We haven't found one yet. So we will film them, Sinak. Aegis, a lion tongue is much rougher. Now, for those of you who want to know exactly how rough a lion's tongue is, we posted a video a while ago. Have them? Vim will find it, and he will pop it in here, and you can have a look. You can actually see that on a lion's tongue, it's almost like it's made up of hundreds of little teeth. So Vim will pop the link to the video of the lion's tongue that we put up when we darted the male lions when we had to adjust their collar. So you can have a look there. Okay, well, guys, it is absolutely wonderful, and I thank you all again from the bottom of our hearts, of Vim and my heart, and Charles's heart. There we go. There's the link for the lion's tongue, and please jump onto Patreon if you can. If you can't, we don't mind. We still love being able to share African wildlife with you guys, and keep a lookout for a lot of the exciting stuff coming. The Painted Dog expeditions to the Rietspruit Game Reserve, the Teespring T-shirts and cups, mugs, and for those, I know a lot of people wanted caps. Caps are on the way. I've had to jump through some, but anyway, thank you very much, guys. It's been great chatting. Vim and I are going to go have our dinner and a glass of apple juice, but keep a lookout. We will hopefully be posting some stuff shortly throughout the week. Keep a look at our Instagram, my Instagram, Painted Dog's Instagram, my Facebook, Twitter. That's the best way to keep up to date with what painteddog.tv is up to. But for all, I've got lost. Oh no, this is this problem with Vim's computer. I had this last week. I can't use the mouse. It's too sensitive. No, I'll win, Vim. Vim, you don't need to help me. Unless, no, Vim, you can come help me so you can say hi to everyone. So before we say goodbye, let's get the shy man on camera, the talented cinematographer, the incredible Vim Dorenbruck, who doesn't quite like being on camera as much as he likes using one. So bye, guys.
Cheers.
Is that the right button, Vim? Yes.
But I have to go back up there.
Oh dear. This is complicated.